Okay, so this morning I cried. I'm going to try to hold it together. But I do want to share with you a little bit about my story. So I grew up in Baytown and I attended Ross's Sterling. So go Rangers if you were a Ranger. My current major that I'm studying is in process technology, and I expect to graduate this May. I attended college full time here at Lee College when my kids were a lot smaller. So my kids are currently 12 years old and 14 years old. So if you have a teenager, you probably understand what I'm going through. But I'm doing this for them. So a lot of their, growing up, being a single mom and providing for them financially 100% has not been easy while working full-time and attending college full-time. So originally when I went to college years back and I obtained my first degree, I did get help through financial aid, so that was a blessing. But it was hard. I worked at Lowe's and I was trying to make it and just trying to hold it together and provide and graduate college. So what was supposed to be a 2-year degree took me a little bit longer, but when I wanted to give up, I pushed through. I didn't give up, but I really did want to give up. It got to where I was under pressure, and I'm sure some of you understand. So it wasn't easy, but I got there. Well, a year later, getting a job in that previous career I was in, it was a good career, but then I started being sent out to, traveling. I had to stay out for long periods of time. I had to constantly travel, and I remember one day thinking, man, my kids are growing up, and I'm missing when they their first steps. I'm missing when my son started talking. Told myself I wasn't going to cry. But I was missing a lot of important stages, and I thought, my first way of thinking was, oh, they're young, they're small, they don't know better, but they do. And traveling a lot was hard. Around COVID, so when COVID came, it was a game changer for me. Not just in my daily living, but even financially. And I'm sure a lot of us understand. COVID was a complete 360. So the only jobs that were coming my way at that point were literally like, hey, Nebraska, hey, Utah, hey, North Dakota. And it was just a lot of different things. And I told myself, I've been home with the kids during COVID, and I want to be home now. Like, I really want to be home. I don't even get the urge to want to travel for vacation. That's how bad it was. And I knew that eventually I had to make a change, and I was contemplating maybe a career change, but what can I go into? And sometimes you doubt yourself and your abilities, but eventually I had to do what I had to do, and a housekeeping job just popped up. Said, well, it's here in Baytown. I got to do what I got to do. Didn't like it, but I took it. It was definitely a humbling moment. I was really, really struggling financially, but at least I was bringing something in. Then I managed to get a job in what I was doing previously, but it was just short term. And I told myself at that point, I have to take advantage of the situation, and I have to make something out of that. I met a girl at where I was working, and she was planning to go back for process technology. Then I got the opportunity to talk to a few plant operators, and they gave me their perspective and how their career changed their life, their family's life. They were able to provide for their homes and their families. And even though they did shift work, they're home. They're not traveling. They're not having to get up and just go, or, we got to travel 75% of the time, and the job description says 10%. So it was challenging, and it was hard. So I told myself, you know what? This could work. And I already had some classes towards it in the beginning. So I went ahead and signed up. But now my next challenge is, how am I going to pay for this? And I didn't qualify for financial aid at the time, but my savings was barely paying for that. So I did set up a payment plan in the beginning. Then I'm in school, I start, and this kid's walking around telling everyone, did you get your scholarship yet? And I'm like, what scholarship? What are you talking about? And I'm thinking, oh, I probably won't get one. He's like, well, you won't know if you don't try. So I did. So that's summer for the fall. I ended up getting it was like a textbook scholarship. That was a blessing. That helped. And then towards the end of the semester, I got another scholarship, and it paid for this semester that I'm going full time. So I want to say that you may not realize how much you're giving really counts, but it does. Something is better than nothing, but it does make a difference, especially for me. You know, being a single mom, trying to hold it together while everything's falling apart, it is a blessing, and it does help. I am first generation to graduate college. I'm setting the foundation for my kids. I learned a long time ago that whatever size foundation you set your children is whatever they're going to know as a platform. And I have goals for my kids. I have expectations for them. I want them to be better than I was. Growing up, told my parents I want to go to college, and they're like, "You're crazy. You're not going to college. You're just going to go to work. You're going to be a mom. You're going to do your thing." But the more that I went to school and just kept pursuing, I learned a lot more about myself than I ever expected. And I learned my strengths, my weaknesses. I've learned to just become a better person. It's sharpened my skills. It's taught me, even public speaking, speech class was tough, but it's hard, you know, it helped. Just different things that I learned along the way, and even in just what I'm studying, it's expanding my mind. I'm learning new things, and that's what I want to show my kids, that, you know, you're your self-limitation, but if you go out there and seek the knowledge and want to learn, you're going to learn something. But thank you for everything that you have done for myself, the other students here, and just know that your giving counts. Everything you do counts. And I'm glad that I got to participate and be here today, and just thank you for everything. I really am thankful. So.